So this is the first issue that I've encountered with this vehicle. It has about 1,100 miles on it, which is crazy. I'll just go ahead and admit that for anybody's like Ford's junk, blah, blah, blah. I've not had a lot of issues out of Ford, but this Navigator, what we're having right now is the cup holder lights are stuck on. I've tried all the manual resets, like with holding the start button for 10 seconds, disconnecting the battery, all those little mini procedures. So now I have come up here and I'm trying to find in the fuse box, but one of the problems is this has no writing to tell you, which is absolutely stupid, no writing to tell you anything about the fuse panel. So with that being said, you have a fuse box in the interior part, and then you have another one that's behind here. Supposedly, I haven't took that one out. But I figured that was part of the ambient lighting. So when I looked up the fuse panel, it said that 172, which is the wire down, which this is what it said online. It's obviously not true because I took this out and the little light in the cup holder still works. So this one right here, there's two 5 amps right here and here. And I've already taken the big fuse out of there to see. So I took that out because I thought that was what I was looking for. And so basically none of that worked because I was just going to take the fuse. My thought process was I'll just take the fuse out that works this light, and then I will get it to the dealer, let them check the harness or whatever, because it's got to be something in the wiring or in the module, because the light is stuck on no matter what. So I'll plug it back up and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and that way you can see. And if you are going to try to remove that fuse, you will have to take that big fuse out of there to get to it. There, it's just where it sits at. But you have that fuse panel in there, and like I said, I've got all that plugged up. So I've got to put this battery back on. I disconnected the negative. Put it back on. You can hear everything, boot back up. And I'll show you what I'm talking about on the inside. But potentially, it's a very little light, but left on for a few days, if you hadn't drove your car, it would absolutely drain your battery. And it'll drain your battery regardless. You don't want any interior lights stuck on over time. That's just parasitic draw that just sits there and pulls on your battery and gets it down low, and then you're doing hard starts, all this other stuff. But I'm gonna put this back on and then get in it and shut everything and show you, no matter what, that the lights are stuck on in the cup holder, or at least they were a minute ago. Hopefully making this video jinx me and it will be back off and be fine. So I'll get that done and then we'll see. That fuse box right there in itself is an absolute pain to get back on there. It's doable, but you've got to just stupid. Anyway, so now I'm going to shut the hood and make sure everything is tight, good to go, and then shut that, get on the inside. This light here is the one that's stuck on, and then there's another one that's connected with it that's down in here, as you can see. So there's two of those lights that are stuck on. So you would think you could hit the kill switch for all lights, which is here. I don't know why it's not tied in, but it's not tied into your illumination door panels, the rear door panels, none of that. But all of those will go out. So if I get in here and I hit lock on the key fob like this, it will lock, and in a second you'll see that those will go out as long as I got the doors shut good. But this here will not go out. And maybe those are all tied in, but I was thinking, I know those were on. I remember seeing that was on. See that little light there? I know that was on. This is on, the one in the cup holder. But I was thinking that so everything is back, but those are not going to go off. So I'm going to shut this off once again and hit lock. Usually the mirrors fold in, but it must have shut that off when I reset the vehicle. Probably have to redo all the seats and everything when I took the battery off. Let's see if I take these out of the vehicle. Okay, so when it's out of the vehicle, so hit lock. Wait 2 minutes for the headlights to go out. But it's still on in there. I can see it in there on. Let's wait and see if these go out. But anyway, if you guys have a fix for that or know the fuse that it is, let me know, because this thing is, I don't know if those little lights would actually kill the battery or not, but so far that's the first thing we've encountered. And you can't see it through the tent, but it's still on in there. And so I'm probably gonna have to go away with the key fob to get it to. So there, the lights went out right there. Now let's see if that's still on. So yeah, it's still on. You guys can't see it in there, but you can kind of see it glowing against the console there. See it right there glowing at the far left. You can see it shining. Let's see if I can get you through the front windshield. See it? Still on. Car is completely shut off. Like I said, I tried to take, I'll pop it up there. I think it's 172, which is the ambient lighting. I took that fuse out. That didn't do it. So if that's even the right fuse, I got that offline, so could be wrong. But first world problems, I know.